Let's get into main topic number one, shall we? And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Darren Terence, who writes, "Hey, John, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the movie theaters, but I just saw a report that said Cinemark isn't planning on requiring their patrons to wear masks while in their theaters. Isn't that kind of irresponsible of them considering this virus is still spreading? What do you think?" All right, thanks a lot for sending in that question, man. And yes, one of the things we talked about on the show the other day was number one, that Regal has announced that they plan on being open by July in time for Tenet opening up. And Cinemark has announced that they're going to start opening their theaters this month in June, I believe, like in the next 2 weeks. They're going to start the process of opening up their theaters. And of course, that makes somebody like me very happy. I'm extremely excited to get back to the movies. That said, one of the other things that we've talked about and emphasized on this show a lot is that the movie theaters are going to need, especially in the opening weeks, to make sure they do everything they can to say to their patrons, we are doing everything in our power to make sure this is as safe of a situation as possible for you to come and be in. The grocery stores, sanitize my hands before I go in. Make sure I'm wearing a mask. They wipe down all the grocery carts. They do all that stuff to make sure that somebody like me, an average grocery store shopper, feels safe. The movie theaters need to do the same thing. And that's why I was a little bit surprised to read this about Cinemark talking about their reopening. Now, this story comes to us from Movie Web Rights. And this is the quote from Cinemark, who said, "We have been intensely focused in developing enhanced health and safety protocols," fabulous, "understanding that these factors will weigh heavily on the confidence and peace of mind of our employees, guests, and community as we reopen our theaters." Cinemark CEO Mark Zoradi is quoted as saying during the live stream conference call, "We will be requiring all employees to wear face masks," excellent, "and encouraging guests to do the same." Encouraging. Now, that's not just an issue of semantics there. That is actually, the article goes on to point out that when asked to clarify that, he did point out that they will not be requiring guests to be wearing masks as they come in. Now, look, let me say this. I don't like wearing the masks. I don't. I don't find them to be a cute fashion statement. I find nothing enjoyable about it. I go out for my late night walks. I hate wearing the thing and when there's nobody else around me, I'll pull it down. If there's nobody else surrounding me anywhere, I'll pull it down. I find it a little difficult not when I'm sitting down, no difficult in breathing, but as I'm walking, I find after about 20 minutes, it gets a little bit irritating. I don't like it either. But I'll tell you what, I love the fact that my grocery store requires that we wear them going in because it just makes me feel more comfortable. Knowing that any one of these walking petri dishes around me, if they cough or sneeze, the majority of it is going to get caught. I mean, it's not 100% foolproof. Of course it's not, but it makes me feel a little bit more confident.
And it actually has been proven to limit, doesn't stop, but limits exposure.
It limits exposure. Well, there you go. So, I mean, I like that a lot, and so I think it's probably the responsible thing for them to do to make sure that patrons are wearing them. Now, I get it. If they're drinking their soda, if they're eating their popcorn, okay, but that's a limited amount of time. That's a finite amount of time. Say 15 minutes in total, they're actually moving hand to mouth, all right? Okay, that means for the other hour, 45 minutes, they're not. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not the be-all, end-all. It just seems to me that living in an environment right now where this sort of thing is really important, why are they not requesting people to do this, requiring people to do this? I just think it makes more sense for other consumers. Anyway, Aaron, you see this. What do you think about it?
You know, John, I've thought about this a lot, and what I've come to realize is going to a movie theater that does not require masks is like going to an orgy that doesn't require condoms. You can do it. It's just probably not the best idea. You know, and I'm like you, I go for my walks, and when I see people, and it's kind of one of those things where like I'll be walking on one side of the street and then someone will pass on the other side of the street and we pull our mask down if there's nobody else around, but there's a you just pull the mask up and as a little nod of saying, hey, I care about you. I know that I'm more than 6 feet away from you. But it's kind of come to be this thing when I'm walking around Laurel Canyon on our walks that people just do it out of a sign of respect. And that's kind of how I look at this, is if you are not willing to wear a mask, it's not that I think that I just think that you don't have respect for the people that are in your community and that are around you.
I think I lost your battery there for a second.
Oh.
Anyway, but please continue. I have the image up. Please continue.
Did you get the comparison that I made to what going to a movie theater is like?
Yes.
Okay. So we all know that going to a movie theater without a mask is like going to an orgy that's not requiring condoms.
Yeah, your mic's working. I just didn't.
Okay, great. Anyone that I actually see who's like out and about, who's not wearing a mask, I kind of look at them and I'm like, yeah, you have syphilis. Like I kind of have that visceral reaction, in the same, and I just feel like it's a way of someone saying, hey, I just don't respect you enough. It's not about that person's, liberties or their freedoms. I mean, we're seeing actual real issues of liberties and freedoms being taken away. Someone being asked to wear a mask so that they don't spread a disease that has the potential to kill or at least severely damage people and cause them a great deal of pain. I just think that it's ridiculous. And I think that you're absolutely right. When you go to the grocery store, I have the ability at the grocery store, I can be like Frogger and I can, like sidestep and not be around people and I can practice social distancing. And I'm maybe in the grocery store for 15 minutes. In the movie theater, I can't control if someone who should be wearing a hazmat suit is sitting 2 rows behind me, hacking their gonorrhea all over the back of my head. That's how I feel about it. Like it grosses me out. And so I think that when Cinemark says we're doing everything we can to help people feel safe, but at the same time, we're not going to ensure that everyone is safe by requiring that the people our guests are confined within a space for an hour and a half plus, we're not going to require them to use protection, then that's not a safe space at all.
Yeah, I think the main key thing there that you were alluding to is the fact that I don't, like when I go outside, I don't wear a mask to protect myself. Right. I wear a mask for the other people around me.
Right.
And I find, and I think when I've talked to some people who don't like the idea of wearing a mask, particularly when it comes to the movie theaters, and that's what we're drawing all this to, is the movie theaters, is that when, friends of mine who say, well, I don't want to wear a mask because I don't really feel I need to. I'm like, okay, but think about the other people around you. You wear it for them.
Right.
And I find people are generally, we're all idiots, but at the same time, I find people are generally do like the thought of, hey, I've got a responsibility to take care of the people around me. And then they go, oh, okay, yeah, if it's to take care of the people around me, it's not for myself. I do it for the people around me. Then wear it.
But the issue that I run across is people saying, well, if you are concerned about your safety, then you should stay home. Okay, well, my husband has like 1/8 of a kidney left because he had chronic kidney disease and he had a blood cancer. Okay, I have to make sure, and kidneys are one of the major organs that can get royally fucked with coronavirus. So I have to make sure that not only is he being protected, but I'm being protected too, so I don't get him sick. I have 3 girlfriends who have children under the age of 5 and that are going through chemo, my girlfriends. So, even if they are going to stay home, they have to go to their chemotherapy sessions. They have to go to their doctor's appointments. They have to go out into the world. So there are I have a friend who has ALS. We all have people that we are connected to who are in some way or another considered at risk. So even if I think that I'm healthy and I don't need to worry about it, not only are there people in my life that I want to take care of, I don't want to be an asshole. And you know what? If the orgy tent at Burning Man can require condoms, Cinemark theaters can require masks.
And that's the thing.
That's some responsibility there.
It's just, when I go into the grocery store, part of the reason I feel so good about and so safe, and I don't even give it a second thought, is because when I look around in the grocery store, everybody else is wearing masks. That makes me feel safe.
Right.
So don't just think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Think about, am I, as an individual, contributing to letting other people here who are fellow movie fans feel more comfortable while they're here, and therefore they're more able to focus on the screen. And that's why I think you're going to see Regal, I think you're going to see AMC come out and say, Yeah, we do require our patrons. If you're eating or drinking at the moment, fine. But otherwise, we require our patrons. I think they're going to do that.
But also, like John, I've been to the movie theater with you. I get it. You're a man who loves his butter with a splash of popcorn.
Yes, indeed.
I understand that. But at the same time, I have this feeling, well, like when I go to live theater, if you cannot go an hour and a half without eating something, and I get it. Movie theater popcorn is the thing. It's part of the movie-going experience. But we are in a very, very, very special time. And you know what? During the 1940s, women stopped wearing pantyhose because pantyhose were... No, it was Desert Storm. During Desert Storm... during Desert Storm, women took off their pantyhose and said, I'm sending my pantyhose to put the pantyhose over the little things because there was sand getting in them. Do you remember this?
I remember hearing some...
We all make sacrifices.
Okay, but at the same time, if that were the case, the theaters might as well not even open.
Okay, you're right, because they make money off of it.
It's not just that they make money. That's the main part of their money. Like, they literally...
You're right. Okay.
They lose money only on movie ticket sales. I
understand that. So, maybe a little, lift and pop. But
what I'm saying is, nobody's asking you to go to the movies, wear a mask, and never take it off.
Right.
Nobody's asking you to do that.
And if you're in the theater and the closest person to you is 14 rows ahead of you, that might be something.
Then there might be something else to that.
Right.
But I just think it's when you phrase, I find most people, when you phrase it in the way of, hey, it's not for you.
Right.
It's for everybody else around you. I find it's really weird. I find most people are more concerned. This may sound weird because we are a selfish species.
Very much
But
so.
I will often find when you phrase it that way.
We're a species that is naturally designed for survival.
Self-preservation.
For self-preservation.
But I often find when you phrase it that way, I find a lot of people when you phrase it, it's like, okay, so I have a bit of a responsibility to take care of the people around me, and I have an effect on how they will enjoy themselves. I feel like people like to step up.
It's an empowering position.
Yeah.
You go, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to show that I care about my community.
Well, that's just our thought. Guys, question is, there's a lot of people out there who don't feel they should wear masks or whatever, but the question is for you guys. What do you think about Cinemark as a movie theater that really needs to get people back in the movie theaters? What do you think about their statement saying they are going to request people wear a mask but not require them? Good move, bad move? Hey, maybe everybody will do it anyway. What do you guys think about that? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.